Hello everybody, it is Super Bowl week and this is your Super Bowl education, if you need one. Not everyone does, but a lot of people do. I spent many years in the sports world doing broadcast on television. I love sports. I think that I know a little bit about sports, and I would love to now pass that knowledge on to those of you who maybe are a little bit sports challenged. Is that the kind way of putting it? All right, let's go with that. All right, so here we go. It's Super Bowl 52. It's this Sunday. Don't worry about all those Roman numerals. They're really a pain in the ass anyway. It's 52. All we need to know. Well, not all we need to know, because the most important thing is who is actually playing. We have the New England Patriots, who happen to be the defending Super Bowl champions. They won the AFC to get here. And then we have the Philadelphia Eagles, who won the NFC to get here. And boom, they clash now in Minneapolis. The Super Bowl moves around every single year. Usually it's in a nice, warm location. Minneapolis doesn't exactly fit that bill. It's my hometown. I speak from experience, but the Vikings have a brand new, shiny, amazing stadium, and the NFL has been making an effort to reward teams who get taxpayers to pay a whole lot of money to give them a new home. So that's why the Super Bowl is in Minneapolis this year. All right, who's going to win this game? Well, the odds early on have the Patriots highly favored to win this game, and for very good reason. If you want a dynasty in the NFL, in the modern era, it's New England. This is their 8th Super Bowl appearance in 17 years. That's a crazy amount of times. 8 in 17 years. That's almost half. All of that has been with Tom Brady as their quarterback, which tells you a little bit about how long he's been playing football and just how good he has continued to be. Now, the Patriots have won 5 times, 5 of those last 8. And if they win this time, that will be 6. That will tie them with the Steelers for the most Super Bowl wins all time. Now, the Patriots are one of those teams that just seems to do well every single year. It has caused a lot of people to now hate them if they're not Patriots fans. So kind of like the Yankees in baseball, they are a dominant team that people now love to hate unless you love to love them. And of course, we cannot talk about the Patriots without talking about Tom Brady. Every time you see the Patriots offense on the field, you are probably going to hear the broadcasters, maybe people around you, talking about a GOAT. That sounds bad. That does sound bad, but no, we're not talking in this case about someone who hurts their team or even about a furry little creature that likes to graze on hillsides and has babies that make lots of really fun YouTube videos. Trust me, if you have not Googled baby goats, take the time right now, go do it. You can thank me later. They're freaking adorable. I digress. That's a real GOAT. Tom Brady is perhaps the GOAT. What does that mean? GOAT, the greatest of all time. It is a debate that's been going on for the last several years. Tom is now 40, about 40 and a half, which is the oldest starting quarterback in a Super Bowl ever. He's also played in more playoff games than any player in the history of the NFL. It's crazy, and he's really showing no signs of slowing down. All right, sticking with the Patriots, you go from Tom Brady, who is the poster child of not only football success, but he has those model good looks, he has the model wife, and then there's the opposite of that. You will see someone on the sideline walking around who may appear to be a homeless person that perhaps broke into the stadium and somehow got himself down onto the field. And you would be wrong if that's what you thought. That is Bill Belichick. He's the head coach of the Patriots. He is a football genius, as many would say, and he spends all of his time and effort on the game of football and pretty much leaving nothing for fashion. It's okay. It is what it is, which is one of his favorite sayings as well. You'll often see him in a hoodie with the sleeves cut off or ripped off. I don't know how that happens. He classes it up a little bit for the Super Bowl, but still, he's going to have that air of dishevelment, if you will. Hey, he wins games. It's all that matters. All right, let's get to Philadelphia now. They are the underdog coming in, 5.5-point underdogs. That makes them the biggest underdog since 2009. Now, why is all of this happening? Well, obviously, the Patriots are the Patriots, a dominant team who many expected all season long to be exactly where they are right now. Philly also had those hopes, especially when they started out the season as well as they did, because of their young second-year quarterback, whose name is Carson Wentz. high draft pick, very big deal, the future of the franchise. Well, he went down in mid-December with a knee injury. Ended his year, he is out. That means Nick Foles, who's a backup, played with the Eagles a while back, is now their starting quarterback and has now taken them to the Super Bowl. But here's the crazy part. Nick Foles has a chance to obviously win the Super Bowl on Sunday. If he does, he will still come into camp next season as the backup. Why? Carson Wentz is their franchise quarterback. He's the face of their franchise. He will retain his starting position even if he watches another guy win the Super Bowl. So Nick Foles has plenty to play for, but also it's a bit of an interesting dynamic considering this really isn't his team. All right, there is a common saying in football especially that defense wins championships. If that's the case, the Eagles are supposed to win. Their defense, 4th in the NFL in the regular season, very solid defense. But in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, a lot of those stats tend to not matter at all, especially when you have Tom Brady on the other side of the ball. The Eagles also are going to need some help from their offense, and Nick Foles is a backup for a reason and has struggled quite a bit, other than the NFC Championship game, which is what they had to win in order to get here when he had an outstanding performance, but that's a bit of an outlier. So the Eagles are going to need him to repeat that performance, and they're also going to need the defense to basically shut down Tom Brady as much as possible, which is really hard to do, hence the odds. Finally, if you are not going to pay a ton of attention to this Super Bowl game, I suggest you devote that attention to the end. This game likely is going to come down to the fourth quarter, perhaps even later than that if overtime happens as it did last year. The Patriots may have won 5 Super Bowls since 2002, but 4 of those were determined by 4 points or less. Last year, they won by 6 points, but that was after a huge comeback that forced overtime against the Falcons when the Patriots went on to win. So this is a team that obviously has shown dominance, but doesn't necessarily dominate the actual Super Bowl, which is good for the rest of us because it gives us an exciting game, something to watch down to the very end, because unless you're actually a fan of a team that blows another team out, nobody really enjoys it that much. Most important thing though, just go out and have fun. Super Bowl Sunday is such a social day. Enjoy the commercials, enjoy the actual game, enjoy Justin Timberlake at halftime. Hopefully he will be great. Enjoy trying to figure out what Giselle is wearing and then how maybe you could copy it later. Or is that just me? No, I didn't think it was just me. And be safe, have fun, and there you go. Hopefully you learned something.